From my home and my heart to yours, I am sending you love, humor, compassion, courage, vulnerability, resilience, and most importantly, peace of mind. I am Joanna Marie Lazaro, co-owner and CEO of Laurus Enterprises. And tonight, it is my privilege to be hosting this very first online event in partnership with Laika entitled Connecting 101, the Gem of Personal Development. This event, we created this for you to support you in your journey to success. We all know that personal development is one of the key secrets to having a better life and to become the fantabulous versions of ourselves. The most successful people in the world always invest time to work on themselves. The likes of Oprah, Warren Buffett, even if they have millions or probably billions of dollars, they still continue to learn. It is a lifelong process. They feed their brain each day with positive and educational information. That's why tonight, I am really, really excited because we have invited three of the best Filipino game changers in the area of personal development here in our country. So we can learn from their own experiences and pick up insights on how we can improve ourselves personally and professionally. And of course, be able to build meaningful connections, especially in this digital era. Okay, so as I continue, please allow me to share some of the house rules that we have. First house rule is that we are actually using StreamYard all throughout the show. So please grant StreamYard a permission to display your name so that we will be able to acknowledge you and call you by your beautiful name. And then, of course, right now, I already see so many comments. Maraming salamat. And we love to really engage with you since we are in this virtual setup. Our comment section, this is the way for us to engage and to know how excited you are or how you are enjoying the show so far. So go ahead, type everything, aha moments, everything that you want to tell us or you want to tell our guests tonight. Just type it in and I'll find time to really actually read them. Okay? And then, of course, you already know we have the most amazing, efficient internet provider in the whole wide world. Providers, okay? So if ever po na biglang may makat sa amin, ako, one of our guests, just stay there because definitely we are coming back for you guys. All right? Another thing, please stay all throughout the show because we have prepared 2 games for you wherein you are going to win lots of prizes. We are going to have gem giveaways. And lastly, I'm sure this one, automatic na to sa inyo guys. Have fun! Maraming salamat sa mga comments that we have right now. I'm so happy to see how excited you are. Nakakatuwa. Maraming salamat guys. Later, I would try to read each and every messages that you have right now, all right? But tonight is going to be very special. We prepared so much because you deserve the best show, especially that we have a very important topic to discuss, personal development, okay? And since I already mentioned as part of our house rules, I already mentioned gem giveaways, right? Okay. Well, you already know that this event is in partnership with Laika, which is a free social media platform that allows users to connect, discover new things, and share our interests with one another through photos and videos. It's actually very similar to Facebook, or even to Instagram. But here, when you share, you get rewarded by gems. And these gems, they can be used to pay for so many things like your groceries, utilities, restaurants, and some people nga, they use the gem to pay for their shoes, for their shopping spree, and a car. Diba? Yan, ganun kabongga po si Laika. And with that, I am so happy to announce that Laurus and Laika will give away gems to lucky viewers tonight. How can you join? We have 2 gem games. And here's the mechanics for the first game. Are you ready? All right. First rule for the first game, you have to go to your Laika account and follow the following game changers. Laurus PH, Jerome San, Jerome_San, Clara Day H, Jason Law, and yours truly, Joanna_Marie_Lazaro. Okay? So this means if you want to win, you must have a Laika account. If you have none yet, then this is the perfect time for you to create one. All right? Then, once you are inside Laika and you have followed the persons I mentioned, you have to comment on the Laika poster that we created, which is my top 3 takeaways from Connecting 101 or this event. Okay? Just put your comment there. These are my top 3 takeaways. So this means, guys, you have to stay really until the end so that you will be able to share your own aha moments and take top 3 takeaways from all our speakers, okay? And then all you have to do is to comment until 11:59 tonight. Okay? So that means po, even if you finish the entire show at 9 o'clock or 9:30 something, you still have 2 hours or 2.5 hours to compose a message and put them in the Laurus poster, my top 3 takeaways. Here's the best part. We are going to announce 10 winners of 500 Laika gems. Okay? The winners will be announced at our Laika account, correct, or the Laurus account inside Laika on Monday, May 17 at 7 p.m. 10 winners of 500 Laika gems. What does this mean? 500 gems po is actually equivalent to 500 pesos. You heard it right. This means that once you win, meron na po kayong pang midnight snack or may pang almusal kayo na masarap kinabukasan using your gems. Isn't that amazing? So let me know in the comment section, guys, if that excites you. Okay? Maraming salamat to all our friends. I'm seeing a lot of regulars of Laurus Enterprises. Maraming salamat for being here. And of course, I want to welcome all of you, our online audience. Thank you so much for giving us your time tonight. And I want to greet especially the Laurus community and the Laikans. If you are here, please type in the comment section, Laikan here, all right? Let us know, guys. Give us your energy tonight. Okay, so I'm sure you are all excited because definitely I am so excited. Okay, so allow me to introduce who are our guests for tonight's event, Connecting 101, the gem of personal development. And as we move along during the entire show, you will find out why the 3 of them are invited to be part of our very first Connecting 101 event. The first guest that we have, he is a speaker, a trainer, an entrepreneur by heart. He desires to help others achieve their fullest potential. Now a public speaker and a consultant to companies, nonprofit organizations, and educational institutions, he endeavors to develop their top asset. What is that? People. So please help me welcome. Let's all give him the warmest welcome virtually, Mr. Jason Law.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Joanna. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. And your energy and enthusiasm is really contagious. If you know Joanna, she's like that both on cam and off cam. So whenever she would message me, she's just full of positivity, and I really appreciate that of you.
Thank you so much, Jason. Because of that, you deserve 1,000 hearts. I'm sending it to you.
And checking my
Maraming
life, she sent me some gems.
I look forward to that. Thank you so much, Jason, for a very heartwarming welcome. And really, it is our privilege to have you tonight. Maraming salamat for freeing your schedule. And I can't wait to have the conversation with you and the other two guests tonight kasi definitely I'm going to learn a lot from you. So, let me call our second speaker. Okay, our second guest. She is my girl crush. Alam niyo naman yan. Pag nanonood po kayo ng show ni Laurus Enterprises, whenever she is part of the audience, I would really call her. Okay? She is a certified international yoga and meditation teacher. Aside from being my girl crush, she is a speaker on holistic wellness and absolute mindset. She's a coach and a philanthropist. She is an empowered female CEO of Ada Inc., who is on a perpetual mission to help people refine their why. Please help me welcome on the show Master Mrs. H. Clara Day Herrera, my loves. Nakaano ka po? Master, yan.
Hello,
Yung-
good evening. Thank you very much, Miss Joanna, for that introduction, for that very warm introduction. Hello, Jason. How are you? And hi. Hello. And then hi to all the viewers.
Yes, we have
Good
a lot
evening.
already, guys. They are
Oo
so
nga.
excited to see you. Grabe. Guys, do you agree with me? With our two guests alone, sumasabog na po yung screen natin with beautiful faces. And let me tell you, hindi lang po beautiful faces. They are the most amazing souls that I know personally. Sobrang grateful ako for this moment that I have this chance to really talk to you guys virtually. And kaya nung inalok sa akin yung pagiging host, sabi ko, sige, wag na natin itong pag-isipan. Although medyo, pero sabi ko, I cannot take this opportunity out. I have to take this alright? So to complete our trinity, our three amazing trio tonight, please let me call in. You already know him, guys. He is my business mentor. He is my dearest friend. He's the person who really made me understand what business is all about. Other than that, he's actually the only Filipino personally trained by Rich Dad Asia to facilitate Cashflow 101 workshop in the Philippines. He is the founder and president of Laurus Enterprises, the company that brought to you Robert Kiyosaki, Matthew Hussey, Gary Vaynerchuk, and more, or many more big names to our country. Please help me welcome, you know him, guys, our K-pop chairman, Mr. Jerome San. Naka-silent ka, ay naka-ano ka yan, mute, Je.
Ayun. Hi, good evening everyone. Good evening Joanna, good evening Jason, and good evening Clara, and hello to everyone again. Yes.
So Jerome, this time around, you are not the host, okay? Isa ka
Yes.
sa mga guest ko. So, oh my gosh, this is such a privilege, a huge opportunity. Jason, Clara, Jerome, on behalf of the Laurus family and the Laurus community, please allow me to thank you, to express really our huge gratitude to the three of you because we know you guys are so busy, you're doing a lot of things, pero immediately you said yes to our invitation. So also on behalf of Laika, maraming salamat for being with us tonight. Okay? So, are you ready, guys? Or
Yes.
ready na ba tayo? Kasi
Let's
meron
go.
Meron po kasi kaming tradition dito sa Laurus Enterprises. Hindi lang po ito sa Manifest Master Inspire. We actually prepare. Since ano po sila, we have 3 guests tonight. To our dear audience, meron po tayong 8,989 questions. So, ibig sabihin, Jason, Clara, and Jerome, tagsi
Mhm.
3,000 questions po kayo. Ready na po ba?
Yes.
Yes.
Ready. Go. Bring it on.
Bring it on. I love that, Jason. Yan. Sige, before I start with the first question, allow me to greet some of our friends lang muna. Medyo marami na talaga sila, guys. Hi, Winchester, Beyonce, marami pong salamat. Angelique Hamolin, Michael, Kate Villaraza, good evening to you guys. Angie San, JC Lebiran, another quantum leap natin. Si Grace, si Michael Rendelar, Andre Garcia, si Journey De Vera, si G. Alfonso, Bev Jones. Hi, Bev.
Hi, Bev.
Agonog Cherry, Edgar, our dear friend and a regular of Laurus. Jean Elimus, maraming salamat. Our beautiful sister, Isis Omali, Angesil Hamolin, Bel Caniga, Cham Lopez from Iloilo, Audrey Garcia, Che Hagonob, Kate Villaraza, Jean Elimus, okay, Patrick Gante, maraming salamat, Bel Caniga, all right. Nini Galliera, Christine Caranyagan, Kem Magbata, Vicky Neer, Bel Caniga, Je Hagonob, okay, Edward, Bam Santiago, hi! Thank you so much for
Hi, Coach
tuning
Bam.
in. Angie San, yung beautiful, beautiful partner ni Jerome. Journey De Vera. All right, Kate, Nini, hi to all of you. Welcome, welcome. Yes, keep your comments coming, guys. You are empowering us with your energy tonight. So let me start. So since he's the very first person I'd call, let me start with you, Mr. Jason Law. And my first question is, can you please give us a little bit of information about yourself and parang how did you get started in your journey right now?
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Isis, who was the one who invited me, and thank you, Joanna, for connecting us for Leica. And
Yes.
Bam is here also. Bam and I go way back, I think, around 20 years ago. And we were
Yeah.
already friends when I think I was still single back then. It's
Wow.
interesting. I speak now, but I didn't want to be a speaker. Speaking was far from my mind. I just wanted to be an entrepreneur, and that was my dream before. Just like the time when Teriyaki Boy or Pancake House was bought by a larger company when they built their business and opened up several branches. That's my dream before. And then when that dream failed, I actually didn't know that God was moving me into this direction. In fact, whenever I would speak, yesterday I had a talk for doctors, around 100 plus doctors,
Wow.
and they called me an expert. I told them, well, I am not an expert, but I went to Adversity University. That's why I'm sharing now about finances because of all the things that I've gone through. So instead of being an expert, it's more like a CRO, Chief Reminding Officer, because people really know what they need to do. You just have to remind them. And you need to keep reminding ourselves what we need to do every day. And that's my journey. I have failed so many times in business. I've been counting more than 10 times already. And it's interesting. I share this to aspiring speakers as well. The first time a company paid me for a speaking engagement was after more than 10 years of speaking. So I was just speaking on the side because I had the business. That's not my bread and butter. And I spoke for this group, an insurance group, yung Gamma, yung name nila. And your president that time, 2019, told me, Jason, you spoke to our group before. And I asked her, what was this, ma'am? And she showed me this handout I gave them, and it gave me goosebumps. And I told her, your group was the very first group who paid me after doing this for so long. And I believe that in whatever we are going through, there's really a reason behind it. And during the time when we are facing probably problems, challenges, or you're in an opportunity, you might not understand why you have to go through what you are going through. until the time that you have overcome that obstacle, kailangan mo lang siyang pagdaanan. Pero pag natapos na, you will be reminded why you had to go through it so that you can become the person you are today.
Wow, such a beautiful mindset, Jason. Nakaka-inspire how you shared that story to us. And personally, to all our online audience, we all know that Jason Law is really huge right now because he's doing a lot of events. You are being invited left and right, Jason. No? Pero I met you 12 years ago eh. And I actually have a copy of your book, yung Unique. Di ba pinakita ko nga sa'yo, medyo yellowish na siya. Ganun na po siya katagal talaga sa industry. So, if you're thinking na, and you're looking at Jason, sasabihin mo na, kaya siya popular, kaya siya magaling. Kasi, naturally given na yan sa kanya, hindi po. What Jason is trying to tell us right now, because of all the adversities that he went through, he became the person that he is right now. Plus, he really invested a lot on himself, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jason, for sharing your wonderful start of your journey to us. Okay. So, Mrs. H, Master Mrs. H, my loves. Ang haba talaga,
Yes
no?
po.
Yeah. Can you please give us a brief info regarding yourself and how you started?
Well, first of all, I never really thought that I would be a speaker because when I was young, just a brief background, when I was young, my cousins would always say that they cannot understand the things that I'm saying. It's like I'm always eating my words, or it's just not very clear to them whenever I talk. It's probably one of my insecurities before. But that I didn't have a nice voice. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to speak in front of a lot of people. So I grew up with that story in my head. And then when I was a flight attendant, this is a story that I would always share to people whenever I have interviews. But if you've heard this story before, just listen again. If this is new to you, yes. 4 years before I resigned as a flight attendant, I fell into a deep depression because of my physical condition. And since I'm a single mom and I'm always away from my daughter, I only saw her once a month in 10 years. For the past 10 years, I would always just see her once a month. And then I felt like I was in a dead-end job. And then I found the magic and power of yoga, meditation, holistic wellness, and that really helped me get out of that dark phase of my life. And one of those days when I was meditating, it just dawned on me that I want to share this message to people because a lot of people are going through difficult times and they don't know how to get out of it. And I have experienced it, and I practically know the blueprint for it, and I want to share this message. So I really made sure that I equipped myself with the tools that I needed for me to be a speaker. I manifested it. I would always practice in front of the mirror and how to be, and watched all the interviews of the people I look up to, like Peng Joon, Tony Robbins, Tom Bilyeu, and then somehow it just manifested, and the frequency, I matched with the frequency of that, that wanting me to share a message to the world.
I love that. Sobra pong pinaigsi lang ni Mrs. H yung introduction niya, but we all know the story, right? And thank you so much, Mrs. H, for being so strong, because if not, we wouldn't have you tonight, or we wouldn't be able to learn so much from you related to mindfulness, right? So thank you for that. So Jerome, can you please share to us your beginning?
Yes. Where do I start? I start with failure, a lot of failure. Even sa school, I repeat twice. I was kicked out of 2 Chinese school, never graduate from college. Pero it's normal sa family namin kasi my dad never set foot sa college. So it's just business talaga. So I started business when I didn't finish college, but so far I keep failing. I registered about 11 business at DTI. I've failed 8 of them in span of 4 years until one business talagang really hurt me so much because I end up with a huge debt sa bank. Ilan million yon. And it's not just ilan million, it's actually eight figure na
Wow.
amount. Yeah, because accumulate ng, it's an importing business. I was hit nung Asian crisis, 1997, very hard. So at that time, I was so depressed. I don't know what to do. So it's like thinking na, how do I pick myself up again? But so someone suggested na, why don't you venture sa life insurance business, become a parang financial planner. So sabi ko, but I hate selling din. Pero wala rin akong choice, so I have to go there. So I went there just to give it a shot lang. For 3 months, wala akong sales. So parang nahihiya na ako and also nadidepress lalo. Not until one of the trainer, kasi I attend their training din. Sabi ng trainer, I asked yung trainer, sabi ko, Paul, how come pag nagte-train ka sa harap, parang dali-dali. Pero pag nasa labas akong hirap magbenta. Then sabi niya, sige, come to my office. So I went to his office. And sabi niya, sige, sell me. So he gave me a policy. Sabi niya, benta mo nga sa akin. You wanna see how I do it? So I said, ito yung lump sum, ito yung babayaran mo, and all those features and everything. Then sabi ko, would you like to buy? Sabi niya, I'm not even gonna buy from you. I said, why? Sabi niya, you lack rapport. Wala kang rapport. Okay? And sabi ko, okay, so what do I need? So doon sa post-it, he wrote something and handed it to me. Nakasulat on how to win friends and influence people. Dale Carnegie. Sabi ko, ano ito? Sabi, it's a book. Sabi ko, a book. And binigay ko ulit sa akin. Sabi ko, Paul, I don't read. Bagsak ako sa school and everything. I don't even open my books at school. Then sabi, if you want to be successful, you have to read. So it took me a while before I purchased yung book. But it took me a while then. After I purchased, I didn't read it then. Then until one day, parang sabi ko, sige, basahin ko na lang. So I read the book. But I'm not used to reading. So sabi ko, 1 page a day lang pwede na. So I look at the whole thing. It's about 180 pages. So sabi ko, 180 days pwede na. Okay, but actually I finished the whole book in 2 days lang. And I was so inspired. Wow. So I start writing things down. Yeah. And after 3 days applying it, I got my first sale. So doon, sabi ko, it works pala. Yun. So doon nag-umpisa. Then one thing leads to another. A lot of books, I become addict sa book. Until I discovered a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Someone recommended to me. I was reading that book. Sabi ko, wow, sobrang ganda. And in my mind, I said, I want to be part nitong organization no matter what. So, kasi through mga books, I learned you have to have a mentor. So, sabi ko, Robert Kiyosaki sa Arizona, sobrang layo. Then, one time, someone invited me to play Cashflow 101. It was conducted by an Indonesian businessman who was doing some business here. He's supplying something here. So I attended. Then I was amazed with about yung Cashflow 101. So sabi ko, can you teach me how to do this? But sabi niya, if you want to learn more, look for this person. I mean, his name is Jerome San. He's Rich Dad Asia. Business partner ni Robert, Ambassador Robert for Asia. So sabi ko, where is he based? Sabi niya, Singapore. Yun. So sabi ko, wow, okay, at least mas malapit na. So it took me about chat and everything so I got his attention doon sa ang tawag dito. Alam mo yung uso pa mga forum noon eh. So from then on, yeah, we did chat sa ICQ for 2 years before he even said, so do you want to partner with us? So from then on, everything started changing. Yun. So I start conducting yung Cashflow 101 workshop since actually 2003. And 2005, that's when he asked, do you want to partner with us? So he partnered with them. Yun. So, because I never see myself then being in business of organizing learning events, but yun, it was influenced by him. So today, doon nagbunga in Laurus. In fact, it was through Belumtan. Yun.
Thank you so much for sharing your beginning, Jerome. Yeah, I know you guys, you tried to summarize your journey na you want to make it concise. And I'm sure our guests feel like, parang bitin. Totoo po, bitin po talaga. Kasi if you're going to really follow each and every one of this amazing individual, you are going to really learn a lot from their beginnings, kung paano po sila nag-start sa journey nila. And it's a long, long, long journey. Pero would you agree with me? There's one thing po that is actually ito po this is what amazes me because of all the people that I've met who are now successful, who are now really thriving in their respective fields. One thing that they have in common always is that failure. I remember this from John Maxwell, the difference between average people and achieving people is their perception of and responsible to failure. So these three amazing guests that we have, they are showing us that they embrace all the failures that they experience in life. That's why right now they became the person that they are. So guys, another question that I have for you is, what made you decide to dig deep into personal development? And on top of that, so far, because you have been in the journey for quite some time, what would you consider as your biggest investment when you were on the process of developing yourself? Let me start with Mrs. H.
So I always believe in what Vishen Lakiani said. You know, when you focus on your personal growth, everything around you grows as well. Your finances, your network, your health, your mind. It just grows. And when I embraced that purpose and my mission to share a message to the world, to just to help people get out of whatever depression they are currently going through or whatever difficult time they are going through. I made sure that I invested in my personal growth as well, because you know you cannot fill from an empty cup. So that's my biggest reason, that's my compelling reason for investing in personal development. And my biggest investment would be being in and joining the Quantum Leap workshops of Success Resources, of course, through Laurus Enterprises. And even if it's considered a big investment in terms of money, time, the benefits, the intangibles are just priceless. The network that I was able to build, and the people that are just very positive, you know, especially during the ECQ started, when the pandemic started, I was surrounded by very positive people. And these positive people were from the Quantum Leap circle, were from the workshops, personal development workshops that I have attended, and that helped me really survive and move forward. Considering that during when the pandemic started, three of my brick and mortar businesses had to stop operating. We had to reroute. So I thought I was going to fall into depression and anxiety again. But thank God, I'm surrounded by people who are just really very positive, very driven.
That's so nice. And for all our audience, please understand, Mrs. H, she has been with the Laurus community since 2018, no, Mrs. H?
Yes, yes,
Yes, from
correct.
National Achievers with Gary V, going to Millionaire Mind
Mm.
Intensive, until the Quantum Leap, until Peng Jun, Rajiv
Rajiv.
Talrena. Yeah. So, ako po personally, I have a knowledge of how much really she has invested in personal development. And the reason that she is this empowered po kasi talaga, sobra po talagang prioritize niya yung personal development niya. So, Jason, what about you?
Yeah, I remember I bought my first cash flow quadrant game. I think this was 2005 yata, yung group namin.
Wow.
I think Jerome, I was there in one of your sessions. I can't remember anymore, no, but it was a long time ago.
Really?
I was new in exposed personal development, and their stories resonated with me. Kasi parang sa books, for example, I think we have more than 1,000 books at home. And you just can't give what you do not have eh. Wala na,
Yes.
tinitignan ko lang yung mga libro para feeling ko matalino ako, no? Hindi naman binabasa. No. I try to read books, finish at least one book every week. So kung hindi kaya, mga
Wow.
one book every 2 weeks.
Mm-mm.
And the best investment you can make is in yourself. And if you want to get into sales, or for example, into business, that's one of my biggest lessons. I was also part of some of your events. I joined some of the programs. Tapos nakasama ko si Carl D dun sa isang event.
Yung Robert Kiyosaki.
National
Yeah.
Achievers in 2015.
Yes, but there are a couple more. And
Mm.
when this coach asked us to invest, what happened was parang I spent like I'll mention the amount. No, I spent
I
like
remember that.
Yeah.
Jason. Yeah, okay.
I remember.
I spent like hindi ko na ba yung anong event, 74,000
Yes.
yata. We met for like 28 minutes. And
Oh my
to
God.
be honest with you, the things that he shared with me are things that I know already. Alam ko na siya. Pero there was something inside that really changed, because if you are not afraid to invest in yourself, then you won't hindi ka mahihiya to offer your services. You won't underprice yourself, because you know your value. And it's not only psychological, but there's a barrier that breaks when you do that. So until now, I still I speak and companies get me, but until now I still constantly invest in myself, because that is the greatest gift that you can give yourself, so that you can inspire more, so that you can share more, and so that you can be more.
I love that. And you know what, Jason, last year you had this program, No Dull Moment, right? I was there. I attended the program kasi I'm already following you on Facebook. Tapos we're friends na nga. Tapos I met you 12 years ago. I've got your book, Determined and Unique. Yung dalawang book na yon. Tapos when I attended your program last year, my gosh, sobrang awesome mo. Ang galing mong speaker. Tapos when you talk talaga, it's coming from the heart. So it's very apparent talaga that you are the kind of person na ini-imbibe mo lahat ng lessons, lahat ng mga natututunan mo dun sa mga courses that you went through. I'm just so amazed. Binalita ko yung kay na Jerome. Sabi ko, grabe ang ganda ng program ni Jason kahit nag-overtime kami. Pero parang lahat sobrang eager pa rin. Ayaw pa nga mag-alisan kahit na overtime na.
Ako, thank you for those for that for the kind words. Pero honestly, that time I didn't know what I was doing, because I don't know how to use Zoom.
That was your first time.
That was my first public event over Zoom.
Wow.
Gamit ko pa nga yung
Wow.
yung camera lang ng laptop, tapos yung
Oo.
lighting ko malabo pa. But we have to pivot Kailangan natin
Yeah.
gawin.
You have to learn to adapt Pero let me tell you, I didn't feel na it was your first time using Zoom because everything is so smooth. Wala
Okay,
akong
thank you.
naramdaman na glitches.
Parang duck
Alright.
daw nagpapaddle. Hindi mo nakikita pero
Tapos butil-butil na pala yung pawis, hindi lang nakikita sa camera. No? Alright. What about you, Jerome?
Yes. Well, kasi when I was recovering from my debt at the time, so any money that I was able to grab hold on, I invest kagad sa learning. So more books. Tapos I think yung pinaka-first seminar that I paid, yung medyo mahal for me at the time, is yung Landmark Forum. It cost me 30,000 at the time. Sige, nilabas ko na rin. Tapos I bought yung Landmark Advanced din, 45,000 at the time. Yeah, kasi ngayon parang mabilis na yung event Then also MMI, we bring MMI to Manila, but also I attended MMI before kailan? 2007. I also bought yung Quantum Leap. So any money I have, I bought it, put it there. So for me, like I buy second-hand car, but basta importante yung education muna, growing myself yon. Why? Because for me, personal development helps me get the result I want. For me, yun. Every time I always get the result I want because of personal development, growing myself. Yun, that's why I got addicted to it.
And what would you consider, Jerome, as your biggest investment so far?
Biggest investment? I would say, syempre, myself. But for me, it's like I said earlier, I sacrifice a lot. Yung mga luxury, no nothing, everything just goes muna sa ano. So, yun, hanggang tama na yung time, have the money. So, yun. So, now it's a lot better. Yeah. So, invest really heavily on myself.
You have a lot of books, katulad nga na minention ni Jason kanina. Totoo po, guys. If you are going to, if you have a chance to visit our office, pero right now po work from home kasi kami. Plus, if you have a chance to actually go to Jerome's library, plus his room, plus many rooms in their home. There's just too many books. I believe, Jerome, yun siguro yung pinakamalaking investment mo talaga kasi you continually buys book pa rin eh, di ba? And in fact, si Jerome po yung sa akin, nagsasabi sa amin ni Jev, tsaka ni Angie, kung ano yung book na dapat po namin basahin. As in, napaka-bookish po niya talaga. Grabe, he can quote something from the book directly. Ganun po siya kagaling.
Sa 1,000 books, 2 lang nabasa ko. So,
at least 998 na lang.
to go.
Diba? That's the good thing. May 2 nabawas. Okay. All right. Jerome, let me start with you for this question. In your personal opinion, what do you think is personal development? And right now, I believe sa mga viewers natin, we have a mix of viewers eh. Some of them are like you guys who heavily invests in their personal development as well, because I'm seeing lots of familiar faces within the Laurus community. They've attended several of our programs, so I know that the kind of person they are, katulad niya rin sila. But we also have in our viewers, I believe, na bago pa lang, nag-i-start pa lang sila sa journey nila towards personal development. So, Jerome, what do you think should be the very first thing a person needs to focus on if he or she wishes to be seen as a credible person and definitely genuine? Kasi right now, yun talaga yung hinahanap ng tao. Being authentic, being genuine.
Yeah, for me, kasi if you're gonna start, let's your own business or freelance or yun, I would say get courses or find a mentor or involve yourself with a community that is doing what you're planning to do. Kasi for me, it will, yung learning curve will be cut short. So you don't waste time. Second most important thing, kasi investing your money sa, let's say, through coaches, mentor, or courses, or books and everything, actually it costs less rather than yung failing a business. Failing a business, I think Jason Lo knows this. I heard your story kasi before. Yun, it costs a lot. Aside from your time, your money, your heart, everything. Yeah, but you're gonna learn anyway. But for you to prevent that, so that's why for me, invest in have a mentor, have a community, get courses. Kasi for me, if you're gonna choose, let's say I have this certain amount of money, saan ko muna ilalagay, sa business o invest ko sa courses? I would say invest mo sa course muna. Why? Because once you grow as a person, like what Mrs. H said earlier, Clara, because once you grow as a person, everything around you grow also. Yun. And a lot of times kasi when I attend courses, I send people sa mga seminar namin, and after that, I always ask for feedback, and they always say this, dapat dati ko pa sana nalaman ito. My life would have changed even before.
Yes.
So yun. So for me, it's invest in yourself first.
I love that. So parang rin siya, the idea, Jerome, is somewhat sharpening your saw first, right? Before you even start cutting the tree, you have to sharpen the saw first so that you won't be wasting precious time.
Habit 7.
Yes. I love that. Thank you so much, Jerome.
Yes,
Jason,
thank
what's
you.
your take on this question?
Yeah. Relate na relate ako kay Jerome, no? Yung buying second-hand cars, with the business. And hindi ko natapos yung story ko kanina kaya ko binanggit yung pangalan ni Carl. I forgot. Kasi during that time when the short coaching session was offered, and
Yes.
Carl is a successful businessman in the real estate industry. And he told me, Jason, pera lang yan eh. Kasi sabi ko, are you gonna take that coaching session? Sabi niya, yeah. Really? Medyo pricey for 20 plus minutes, ganun kalaki yung amount. Sabi niya, well, pera lang naman yan. Yung pera kasi mawawala din yan eh. Pero yung experience mo, it will always be there. And for those who are starting, the reason also why I mentioned books, parehas kami ni Jerome. I was 49 out of 52 in our class in high school. They invite me. I just spoke for my school last month, and I will always tell them I got the best award from our school, which is the loyalty award. I hate school. I hate reading books. Ganun na ganun yung story ko. Story niya. Ganun din yung sa akin. Nag-start ako magbasa ng one book, and then na-addict ako sa mga books. And if you are going to begin, my suggestion is to pick a book that will help you. I know a book that's really good. No, you find the book unique.
Yes, true.
Mabait
Agree.
yung author nun, mabait.
Promise
Napakabait.
ko to. I love that.
Pero yung pag naghanap kayo ng book, you look for that book that will help you, and you start investing in yourself. And this is really some mind-boggling, no? I just did I did several talks, and ito yung scenario. I was just testing it out. The scenario was, yung mga tao dun sa group na yon, matatanggal na sila sa company nila. They need to reach a certain quota. Kung hindi nila ma-reach yung quota nila na ang bilis nang maabot, matatanggal na sila. And I offered yung book ko. More than 150 people attended. Guess how many people bought the book?
Lahat.
100%? Oh.
Zero. No one bought. And that is exactly the reason why they are failing right now, because they don't see the value of investing in themselves.
True.
So, tinry ko lang na mag-offer ng book without encouraging them, without telling them not to get it. I just offered it to them. And kahit isa. So, imagine that. And if you are in an organization where people there are successful, they're achievers, and you will always see them, even if you do not offer them the book, they will buy. So, weird.
Yeah. Zero? My gosh. I remember, Jason, 12 years ago, you went into this, parang it's a Saturday leadership meeting that we are attending together with Jerome back then. Tapos, there are around 500 people in the room, if I'm not mistaken. And then when you announce your book to us, unahan pa kami kasi ang sabi mo, we only have few copies with you. Plus, you're offering actually a huge discount for all of us at that. Di ba, Jerome? Parang lahat tayo nagtakbuhan sa likod kasi we want to have a copy.
You know what's funny about that event? There was one event na I recommended a friend who's also an author, but he didn't want to offer his book on stage. Sabi ko, why would you be ashamed? You're helping people.
Yeah.
So ending up, I was the one who offered his book on stage, and ending up record-breaking.
Wow.
The most books sold in one engagement.
So parang ano to parang Jason, it feels like a celebrity endorsement. So,
Celebrity, just endorsement.
So,
Yan ang
Mrs.
selling
H,
skill.
lumabas na yung libro natin. We know who
Yes.
to call.
Yes. May
Alam
celebrity
na natin kung
endorser
sino
tayo.
yung endorser ng libro natin by that time. Thank you so much, Jason, in advance. Rename na.
Buti na lang. Friends na kami ni Jason.
But you know what? Honestly, that is, mind-boggling. But it's a culture that we have to really, ano pa kumbaga parang so many Filipinos right now, nag-i-struggle pa dun sa personal development, right? Kasi kami sa events, um, nagkaroon kami ng event, sabay ni Madonna, yung ticket selling versus ng event namin. Madonna's ticket is 50,000 the cheapest. Our event, the cheapest would be around 2,800 or 1,500. Within 24 hours, Madonna's ticket sold out. 50,000. Our event, hindi man lang kami nakahit ng 100. So, yun yung ano tayo, medyo, that's why we are doing this kind of event na, so that we will be able to empower and inspire so many Filipinos that personal development really is a way to go, right? And if you want to get started, na cheap lang, na hindi masakit sa bulsa mo, really, buy a book. You can start with Unique. Later, kukunin ko po yung kopya ko ng book ni Jason. Makikita po ninyo kung gaano nakadilaw yung pages. Pero I treasure it kasi it's personally signed by Jason. Hindi pa kami magkakilala ng time na yun. Isa pa lang ako sa mga tagahanga mo, Jason, back then. Pero I treasure the book. So really, if you want to know how uniquely you are, how uniquely created you are, and how you can maximize the potentials given to you by the universe or by God, you start with Unique. Yeah. So Miss Clara, what about you?
Yes, I would just like to say, excuse me po,
Na ano ka, nagbibinata tayo, Mrs. H. pareho. Na ano ka, nakamute.
Okay, yeah, I would just like to say also that I 100% agree with what Sir Jerome and Jason are saying. The importance of investing in yourself, starting just by the simple act of reading a book. Because, like what Jim Quick would always say, the super brain coach, leaders are readers. If you want to be a leader in your field, in your industry, in your life, just read. And if you're busy and you like to multitask, audiobooks are available now and podcasts, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, going back to your question, what is personal development? Well, personal development entails two very important things for me. First is humility, and second is a decision. First is the humility because personal development is a lifelong process.
Mm-hmm.
We have to embrace that humble journey of going through that process because it involves constantly refining our why, our purpose for doing so. Because somewhere along the way, probably in your if you're someone who's starting your personal development journey, people are going to question you when you start posting things in your social media, when you start talking about things that they're not used to hearing from you. They will question you, like, what are you into? Are you into some kind of what are you taking? But just be in that humble journey. There will be a lot of times when you'll question yourself, like, why am I really doing this? I can just go back to my old ways and not invest on my education, not invest on my growth. Why don't I just continue watching Netflix instead of reading all these books and watching all these personal growth or attending all these personal growth workshops and listening to all these podcasts? There will be times when you will start questioning yourself, but personal development is a decision. It's a decision for you if you want to take your life from this point to that point where you can really 10x or grow exponentially or succeed exponentially even. But it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to entail a lot of dedication. Yeah. And at the same time, it entails a lot of self-awareness and constantly refining our goals and aspirations in life. So that's personal development for me. And your question, how do we, if you're someone who's starting on the personal development arena or journey, how do we make sure that we are seen as credible and genuine? Well, first of all, we have to be ready to expose our vulnerabilities, because
Mhm.
that will make us genuine more than anything. And at the same time, the very classic, we have to walk the talk, really.
Yes.
When you post something in your social media, advising people that, oh, you have to eat this, or you have to read this, or you have to meditate, then do it too. Show the people that you are doing it as well. You are walking the talk. It's just like, you are a fitness coach, but you're overweight, you're obese. How will people believe in you? How will people see you as someone credible and genuine?
Mm-mm. I love what you said. Yeah, it's really a decision, and it's the kind of decision that is never easy because you really
Exactly.
have to go through ups and downs a lot of time, and most of the time nga
Mhm.
nasa baba ka talaga, 'di ba? But
Yes.
it's the kind of decision that when you really focus on it and you really be committed on it, it's really going to give you exponential growth later on.
Exactly.
It's not something na mangyayari agad-agad, right? Like halimbawa, you wanna lose weight. It doesn't happen na
Hmm.
kumain na ako ngayon ng walang rice, hindi na ako nag-sugar today, bukas payat na ako. Of course,
True. It's a
nothing can happen.
journey.
Yeah, it's a journey. And speaking of journey, here's the book.
I want one.
Yeah, kita mo
Jason,
naman.
I want one.
Determined,
Not gonna
yeah.
uncover.
The precious Jason. Jason,
The
I want
Precious,
one.
yes. So this is the second book I bought. I think this was in Mega Mall yata, Jason, the second event of yours that I went to. Tapos this one is in somewhere in Shaw, Jerome, no? Yung sa Shaw natin before.
I remember
Yeah.
that
So,
Jerome
yan
also
po.
spoke in that event. Eh.
Yeah. So guys, ito po yung sinasabi ko sa
Tagal
inyo.
na.
Nakita niyo ba? Dilaw na, right? Pero nandiyan yung message. Joanna, enjoy being you by Jason.
Oh,
So, I never throw this
Wow.
book kasi
Wow.
this is really important to me. And I really learned a lot with regards to my own personality. Kasi I'm a DISC fan, Jason. So, you gave me a different insight and perspective when I read this book. Tapos, ito naman pong book na to, hindi si Jerome yung author nito, pero I wanna just share to you. These books po, kay Jerome to. Tapos na po niya basahin, so hinihiram ko na. So pinapasa na niya sa akin. And in fact, this Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, it was signed by T. Harv Eker, nakapangalan po. So hindi ko siya maaangkin ever kasi nakalagay to Jerome.
wow.
Yes. So ganito kalaki mag-invest din si Jerome. In fact, nung nasa Singapore kami last 2019, Masters of the Century, kami, ang bit-bit ko, mga pasalubong na pagkain, shirts, ganyan. Si Jerome, ang bit-bit niya, ang bigat-bigat ng maleta niya. I think 8 books, Jerome, no? From Singapore, inuwi po niya sa Manila. Ganon, ganon siya mamili ng libro. Kaya sabi ni Angie dito, marami pa raw pong nasa cart niya sa Amazon. Yan po. So, I'm just sharing to you guys. And si Mrs. H po, she's really one of the person who really values personal education. Kasi every time po may question ako, kay Mrs. H po talaga ako pumupunta. Kasi napakadami po niyang alam. And she's the one who reminded me about being resourceful. It's not the lack of resourceful, but the lack of resourcefulness. Yun. So if you're not getting
Yeah.
anything in your life, it's not because you do not have the resources. Maybe what you are lacking is the ability to become resourceful. Kasi nandiyan yung resources around you. Just have to really look closer. Lakihan lang po yung mata natin, right? Okay, so now let me just remind all our viewers, thank you so much, guys. So far, our audience here, they are enjoying, they are learning a lot, and our friend from Laurus Enterprises, they're writing everything, guys, that you are sharing to us so that our viewers can just copy it later on, or if you have time, guys, we're writing every important anecdotes that our guest speakers are saying so that you can just copy it and later on review it. Okay? Para po ma-apply and ma-execute po ninyo lahat ng lessons. Alright? So, now let me just remind you guys regarding our first gem game, which is, yan, go to your Leica account, follow the accounts of Laurus PH, Jerome underscore San, Clara Day H, Jason Law, Joanna Marie underscore Marie underscore Lazaro. And then look for the poster of Laurus with the word, my top three takeaways from the Connecting 101 event are, and put your own takeaways. All right? We are going to pick 10 winners who are going to win 500 Leica gems. And the winners will be announced on May 17 at 7 p.m. But for your entry to be considered, it has to be inside at 11:59 tonight. So all these things that our Laurus Enterprises are writing in the comment section, guys, if you have the same takeaways, feel free to grab them and just expound on the idea. Okay? So now, um, thank you so much, guys, for allowing me to remind our online audience regarding that. So, another question that I have for you is that we already mentioned it a while ago. All of you, you underwent tremendous mistakes and failures in life. And we all know this. There are no failures really, they are just lessons. But despite having that kind of mindset, because we are now, you, the three of you are already empowered people. Eh. So whenever you look back, hindi siya failure for me. It's a lesson. But we cannot take away the fact that sometime in your life, may mga pain na dala-dala yung mistakes and yung failures na nangyari before, right? So, let me start with, of course, my love muna, Mrs. H. Let me start with you with this question. What are the pain points you overcome when you were in the process of developing yourself?
Yes, okay, great question. So, what were the pain points? Well, first of all, like what I mentioned a while ago, when you start your personal development journey, people are gonna doubt you. There will be people
Mhm.
who are even doubting your intentions and your motivations for doing so, right? And so and at the same time, the people who you were used to being with or your circle of friends, when you start
Mhm.
your personal development journey, they might not be able to understand you anymore. You're not gonna speak the same language anymore. You're not gonna be in the
Mhm.
same frequency and same wavelength, so to speak, anymore. So that was a challenge for me when we were starting a business, when we were building another business before.
Mhm.
My business partners were not in the same frequency as I was. I was in this abundant mindset and, looking at infinite possibilities and
Yes.
just taking it by the principle ready, fire, aim, not ready, aim, fire. Just do what is needed to be done and then adjust along the way. But for
Mhm.
my business partners then, their mindset was, oh, it everything has to be perfect first before we do things, because it's coming
Mhm.
from well, let's say it's a traditional mindset. And
Mhm.
that caused a lot of arguments, that caused um, them seeing me as not being in touch with reality. Because I'm just
Oh.
yeah, yes, that's one of my pain points before. But even until
Mhm.
now, not everyone that they're gonna talk to will be able to relate to what you are saying, especially if you're so invested in your personal growth journey and your mindset. Not everyone that you're going to talk to will understand you. So
Mhm.
it's very important for us to adjust
Mhm.
and understand the person who we are talking to and really listen to how they want to be communicated to,
Mhm.
instead of imposing our truths on them. Because when you're invested in your personal journey, somehow you'll have a bigger understanding and a bigger perception of on things. So
Mhm.
it's being misunderstood, being what you're saying, it's always misconstrued. But
Yes.
at the end of the day, we are in this phase in our lives already where you are better equipped to understand people.
Mhm. So, Follow-up question, Mrs. H. Was there a time that you have to let go of some people, meaning friends, or people around you because of this different set of mindsets that you have already acquired?
Yes, definitely, definitely. It's part of the whole process that
Mm-hmm.
well, people come to us for a reason, for a season, for a lifetime, and
Yes.
it's just accepting that there are things that couldn't be worked out anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
you can always find that common ground.
Yes.
Relationships don't have to be the same anymore, but at least find that in your heart that space of forgiveness and for understanding that at the end of the day we are all just doing the best that we can. We're all just trying to understand each other the best way that we can, and if that best for the other person is not the best that translates for you, then it is what it is. Like Buddha would always say, it is what it is. No attachment to the outcome. Just move forward and learn from mistakes.
Yes, I totally agree. Also, just to add lang, Mrs. H, ako kasi I personally also believe that some people, they come into our life for a reason. So, if the time comes that you have to part ways or end whatever relationship you have, it only means that the purpose of that person in your life has already been fulfilled. Right. So you have to move on so that you can meet another new person that you can learn from who's going to help you become bigger than you are yesterday. So it doesn't mean that you're ending the relationship, but rather
Yes,
your purpose and his or her purpose in your life has already been fulfilled.
exactly.
What about you, Jason? What are the pain points? Kasi alam ko, naaalala ko before when you were talking about your businesses, the X amount of money, di ba? So I'm sure medyo masakit, may sobrang sakit ba yun nung time na yun, Jason? Are there any pains that you have to endure?
Yeah, just like what Clara mentioned, no, that resonated with me as well. I don't want to
Mm.
call you Mrs. H kasi you look so young for our Mrs. H, Clara. Uh,
But
but
it's a compliment, really. We'll tell you the backstory
May
later.
hidden meaning kasi.
Later,
Meron
kwento ko
pala,
sa'yo,
meron.
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
Nakakakilig.
super!
So, yung natuto akong manood ng Korean novela because of this pandemic, because I love my wife so much. But one of the things there about yung startup, it's a
Mm.
good show, great show because it teaches young people about business.
Mm-mm.
Daming mga principles there. Para siyang Shark Tank ng the
Yeah.
Korean setting. But the
Mm-mm.
one thing that really resonated with me so much was when the three of them hugged each other and they were crying because money almost got in the way of their relationship and they
Mm-mm.
didn't let it. So, parang everyone here, I've had a lot of partners in the past in different businesses, and both very very small businesses to some businesses that are um, a little bit bigger, but it's really that relationship. And what Clara also mentioned a while ago, when it comes to failure, I love what Andy Stanley said, and I teach this to speakers that if you talk about your failures and
Mhm.
your weaknesses, you will never run out of things to talk about. Ako
Mhm.
personally, the most painful for me was when my mom passed away more than 10 years ago. And I love my
Mhm.
mom. She was so strict. Sabi ko nga kanina, lagi akong bagsak sa school. So, lumuluhod ba ako sa harap niyan para hindi lang ako paluin when I was young. And then we got closer and closer as she became
Mm.
older, became more tender-hearted. And on her deathbed, she was diagnosed with cancer. Hinihilot ko yung yung forehead niya. Tapos I was left there in the ICU with her. And I told my mom, Mommy, we love you, hindi ka namin pababayaan, nandito lang kami with you. Huwag ka matakot. And my mom lifted her oxygen mask, look at me, tapos naghuling bilin. Sabi niya, anak, huwag mo nang hawakan yung noo ko. Ang gaspang kasi ng kamay mo. Mamatay na, nagpapatawa pa. After 2 days, my mom passed. And a few years before this happened, when I lost my business, the very first person who called me, one of the first, was my mom. At that point, she already had cancer, and my dad passed, didn't leave her with much. And she found out how much money I lost and how much money I owed. So she offered me money. She was telling me, anak, papahiramin muna kita ng pera. Sabi ko, mommy, it's okay, I'll try to manage because I know her situation. And you know how moms are, she persisted. The amount she lent me wasn't that big. It wasn't that significant, but I know it's significant to my mom. On her deathbed, sabi niya sa akin, Jason, remember yung utang mo sa akin. Actually, hindi ko naman papahiram yan sa'yo eh. Ibibigay ko yan sa'yo para yan sa mga anak mo. After 2 days, she passed. That was so painful to me. I felt like a total failure because I promised my mom that I would pay her and I wasn't able to fulfill that promise. And it was years na buhat-buhat ko yung burden na yun. I didn't even know that I carried that burden. That my definition of money, when you ask people what's your definition of money, they will say freedom, they will say leverage. But my definition all along was pain. It was so painful to me. And until I was able to get out of debt, after that, after a year, I wrote my book. Yung pinakita mo kanina, yung Determined. And today, the book, through God's grace, more than around 50,000 people have read the book, and I receive messages almost every week telling me about how the book inspired them. They are going through a lot. And, this story is so close to my heart that the first time I shared this was last year when I was teaching public speaking online. And I told the audience, during the masterclass, I told them, hey, can you share something that you've never shared before? Okay, be vulnerable. And since ako yung nagsabi, nag-isip ako nung something na very close to my, dun ko lang siya na-share. It's not even in my book. And, for those who are listening now, turn that pain, you can turn your pain into something beautiful, something that will encourage and empower others. Because what you are going through right now, you have to go through that. And you will discover that once you go through that, it may be the worst moment of your life, but eventually it will also become the best moment, defining moment of your life.
It was so heavy, but thank you so much, Jason, for sharing that. Yung last part, I remember kasi I'm a big fan of Oprah. Oprah always says this, turn your wounds into wisdom. Find a way that all these pains that you are going through, even right now when you are undergoing them, sometimes hindi mo naiintindihan, right? Tinatanong mo yung sarili mo, tinatanong mo yung universe, bakit nangyayari sa akin to? But then eventually, when you are able to put yourself in a different perspective, position, and then you look at it on a different lens, you'll realize na, so this is the lesson. That's why I have to undergo that. And thank you so much, Jason, for sharing that. Trivia, the reason that I bought this book, it's because I was also in huge debt that time.
Wow.
Yes. So it was very timely for me when he introduced this book. Kasi nung time na yon, I really don't know how to get out of my debt also. So sabi ko, I think this is the universe way of telling me na, hey, here's your solution. So I bought the book. And that time, nung binili ko tong book na to, Jason, I don't have much. In fact, hindi ako kumakain nung time na yun whole day. Naantay ko magkita kami ng asawa ko. Kasi I only have enough for coffee, yung ganyan, pag nagmi-meeting kami ni Jerome ng time na yun. So ngayon, mas naging precious siya for me. So guys, grab a copy of these books. My God, you really learn a lot. Promise.
Thank you, my manager.
Gems na to, joke lang. All right. What about you, Jerome? Ito si Jerome, maraming pain na maaalala to eh. Jerome, nakamute ka po.
Okay, ganon. Kasi earlier I mentioned I failed a lot, kick out of 2 Chinese school, yung mga ganon. In fact, I went to Jason Law School, yung school niya before, for 1 year, grade 4, tapos kick out din kagad. Then from there, lots of failures. Tapos when I went to the States for college, but never finished it. So when I came back, I started business kagad. But like I said, I failed 8 of them in span of 4 years. It hurts a lot. But through personal development, kasi the wonderful thing is I discover why yung cost niya. Kasi when I was young, I have this yung dalawang puyo. Ano ba sa English yun? Dalawang puyo.
Yeah. Ano bang tawag doon?
Yeah, but so pag you have dalawang puyo, like you're labeled like dumb or whatever. So the problem is I bought that. Naniwala ako. So I carry that since I was young until, I was doing business. Kasi, words like, I'll never be successful. Yung mga unconsciously, I didn't know. But attending a certain courses before kind of reveals all of those nilabas. And doon ko lang na-realize na yun yung pala yung cost nun. So one thing I learned then that person is not me, is actually who people. So I stepped out of that and everything started changing when that happened. So I would say I became consciously aware what causing it, all those things. Yun. So for me, it's really a huge breakthrough. Kasi having, how painful it is to fail one business after another. Hindi lang sa bulsa, sa pera, but really emotionally, it's really draining psychologically. But yun, because of personal development din, na, I was able to become aware and change it kagad. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jerome. Just to share to you, our viewers, Jerome is actually, he's been a trainer and also a speaker for quite some time. When I met Jerome, before pa kami naging business partner, he was my mentor already because he was my downline. Hindi siya direct downline, pero there was 3 more people before ako kay Jerome. But every time that I need something, I would always go to Jerome because really his wisdom is so vast. Ang dami niyang alam. Tapos parang pag may tinanong ka sa kanya, para siyang library catalog na, okay. Kunwari, the word is wisdom. Pupulutin lang niya pipick up lang niya yung index card, tapos automatically, blah, 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 eto na siya. Ganun po kagaling si Jerome. That's why I followed Jerome talaga dati eh. Parang he's really a big brother to me back then. So I know the story, yung puyo niya, kung paano niya in-overcome lahat yon. You'll never believe po. I think it would take another live para lang pagkwentuhan yung puyo story ni Jerome at paano niya na-overcome and became the person that he is right now. Right? Thank you so much, Jerome, for sharing that story. So,
thank you.
Guys, now kasi, because of the pandemic, of course, everybody is online. Suddenly, we have to shift. Sabi nga ni Jason a while ago, he doesn't know how to operate Zoom before, but then he did the No Dull Moment event for the very first time. Similarly, with us in Laurus Enterprises, we're doing live events. And then when the pandemic hit, it took us a while before we were able to adapt. So nagkaroon po kami na ngayon ng mga online events starting January. Mrs. H, she almost had a depression because all her businesses back then nagsuffer po talaga, right? So my question for you guys is that because everybody is in the social media or online right now, anybody can follow us, anybody can look us up, whether in Laika, in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or whatever platform it is, right? I'd like to ask you, how do you build and maintain your credibility in the online world? Especially na halos lahat ng tao nasa social media na. Meaning, you are not the only one who are who is a business person na nag-pivot sa online, you are not the only trainer or coach or speaker or author that's doing online events now. Almost everybody, they jump into the bandwagon already. So how do you differentiate yourself by, and how do you build and maintain your credibility right now? Maybe let's start with Jason.
It I guess it's a matter of being authentic and being you. And now there's just so many. You're right. So the one thing that you should be doing is to differentiate yourself from others. You have to be you. You have to be you, and yung comparing yourself also. Kasi kailangan iniisip natin, we're not doing this for ourselves. We're doing this for others. Let's not get comparison or other people out there who's doing their stuff na to get in the way of our purpose and our vision. And what is it that, why are you doing what you're doing? And this is a challenge for all the influencers that I know. Some are good friends, and yung comparison, yung check mo yung kung gaano kadami yung followers mo online. I interviewed a friend. His name is Carlo Ople, and he has like around 700, 800,000 followers on YouTube.
Wow.
Same thing with last week. I interviewed Jerry Corseo. He's also a YouTuber, around 600, 700,000. And both of them said na importante talaga yung you do your stuff without looking at the metrics, and just remember why you are doing what you're doing. And then if they come, that's good. If not, then probably there's another platform or something else that is prepared, that this thing right now is preparing you for. Natatandaan ko the first time I was exposed to this, kasi honestly, I'm not into posting, I'm not into social media before. And I had this speaking engagement in Isabela. Pagdating namin dun, 5 kami, I was with 4 influencers, and they are all millennials. Pagdating namin dun sa school, para siyang gym na malaki, pinagkakaguluhan sila ng mga tao. Tapos ako, walang pumapansin sa akin. Okay lang naman sa akin yun. I'm not into that eh. But it made me realize na, man, if I want to be relevant, I have to start building my social media, my platform. And I actually learned from them. Parang yung time na yun, 21 years old, 22, everyone knows them. And I started being active online. Ayoko pa eh. Ang ginawa ng staff ko, every time nagsispeak ako, he takes a video of me and he posts it online. Ganun yung ginagawa niya. So natural habitat talaga. That's me. I started like with 250 to 300 views yung video. Hindi pa nanood dun yung asawa ko tsaka yung mga anak ko. And then naging 350, 500. And then from there, nag 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. And then I have, through God's grace, videos online that's viewed millions of times. Na hindi ko naman inisip yun. Kasi kung iisipin ko na, wow, may manonood ba na to? Ilan ba yung manonood? I won't be doing it eh. But you just have to start. And instead of being a consumer, start being a creator.
I love that. And also mission first, right? I think that's the most important lesson I picked up from what you shared, Jason. It's not the likes, but it's really the mission. If you are truthful to your mission, people will really eventually follow you. Yeah. Jerome, what's your take on this question?
Yes, actually I agree on Jason's part din. Also, I want to add is yung consistency. Consistency is one of the key to be successful kasi in anything. For instance, like big company like McDonald's, Tesla, all because they're consistent. So for instance, like McDonald's, you go anywhere in the world na may McDonald's, they're very consistent. Yung pa rin yung lasa ng fries, yun, so consistency. Because I remember Tony Robbins said this before, it's not what we do, It's not what we do once in a while that shape our lives, but it's what we do consistently. So
Mhm.
I learned this then kasi when we were doing yung cash flow event, we're very consistent. Every month meron, minsan twice a month, but minimum is once a month for more than 10 years. Until nung na-lockdown, ganon. And when we start with sa Laurus Project, we started yung what do you call this? Yung Facebook Live natin, Manifest Master Inspire.
Yes.
And once we do, we have to be consistent then. So every Wednesday we have yun show, no matter what. Yeah. So consistency is one of the key. For me, it's not just what you do, one, but it's also consistent with your word. What you said, like what Clara said earlier, then with your word, kung ano ka man, you have to be consistent then. What you're sharing, what you're teaching. Like what Jason
Yeah.
said, you have to be so unique about it. Yun. So for me, consistency is one of the key.
Yes.
Yeah.
Consistency is the key. Yeah. Mrs. H.
Yes. Okay. So how do you build and maintain your credibility in the online world? Or first of all, like what my mentor would always say, I think it's Peng Jun who mentioned this. Even God has haters. So if you're someone who's starting to build your online presence, remember that there will always be people who will not be so happy with what you're doing. There will always be people who will try to discredit you or undermine your credibility. But then again, it will always come back to like what Jason and Jerome mentioned, your intention for doing things. If your
Mhm.
intention is to be famous, to go viral, then that's easy. Post more pictures of you in a swimsuit, then that's most probably gonna generate more likes. Or
Yeah.
do something funny or entertaining, that's probably gonna generate more likes and be viral. But if your intention is to share a message to the world and educate people and help people get out of the current situation that they are at, then it's probably gonna take a while. And again, there will be more doubters and haters, but just continue with your mission. And at the same time, like yeah, like what Sir Jerome mentioned, just be really authentically you. And what Jason mentioned, just be authentically you. And what like what I mentioned in my programs, in my events, just by being authentically you, you can shake the world, you know.
Mhm.
And it's not again, it's not about the likes. Or don't be attached to that. Don't never ever be attached to that. It's good to have, it's nice to have, but don't be attached to that. Even if
Mhm.
you're not someone who's looking into being a speaker or a coach, or you're just someone who's sharing your daily life to people, because there's something that something good or valuable that they can pick up from the things that you're doing. Just do it, and who cares if for now you're just getting one or two views. It's gonna grow eventually, because you're coming from a place of purpose and
Mhm.
good intention. So it's just an exchange of energy. Expect that it's gonna you're gonna receive that good energy in return.
Yes. I love what you guys shared. At the end of the day, just be who you are. Embrace your uniqueness, right? You can get inspiration from others, but don't be a copycat, because once you become a
Mm-hmm.
copycat, that's so different from the real you. Eventually people would feel it. Makikita nila that hey, this person is a phony. And then they will eventually leave
Mm-hmm.
you. And it's going to hurt you
Mm-hmm.
more, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Oh my gosh, I am so, ano ba, feeling wonderful. Ang gaganda ng mga insights na binibigay ninyo. And I hope you guys are able to read the comments that we are getting from our audience. They're really learning a lot. And at this moment, hindi ko na po sila mabasa because sobrang taas na po ng babalikan ko. I apologize for that. But to all our audience who are actively participating in our comment section, we acknowledge you. We are so grateful to you guys. Thank you for sharing your own takeaways and aha moments. And because of that, please be reminded, go to our Leica account and be part of the games. malaking bagay po yung 500 gems. It would give you a really good breakfast pag nakuha na po ninyo yung gem. Alright? So, in relation to the question of being in the online, because the three of you, Jason, Mrs. H. Later, Jason, babalita namin sa'yo bakit Mrs. H. But if you start calling her Mrs. H, tama yung sabi mo kanina, may kilig. Kasi may reason talaga yun. Law of attraction to eh. Yan. And you, Jerome, you're already big in the platform that you have right now, especially here on Facebook, guys. But what made you go inside the social media app, Laika? What moved you to share your contents on this platform? Given that you already have a huge following, right? On TikTok, probably on Instagram, or here on Facebook. Maybe I'll start with, sige, Mrs. H.
Yes. Okay. So why am I trying to crush the Leica platform? Well, it's because it's relatively new, and there's a big opportunity there, especially for us creators in the personal development arena. Um, in Leica, we earn gems. The users earn gems. It's easy to ask people for gems, exchange gems. Flex each other in the ask for gems. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure. We also want to make sure that they're getting something valuable out of their time in that platform, and if there's a seed that we can plant to them while they are seeking for gems, while they are strategizing the way that they're going to get gems. At least when they scroll and they see your our profile, there's something that they can learn from, and maybe that will help them. Again, nothing is an accident, right? So probably if they go to my feed by accident, they see it in their for you page, but that's TikTok, the for you page. But anyway, they see it in their feed, and then they resonate with my message for that day. Then it's just something that's gonna help them.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to give the Filipinos, particularly the Filipinos who are using Leica, uh, a chance to explore personal growth and development. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a good opportunity for everyone because it's new. It's not noisy yet, so let's crush it.
Yeah, let's make noise. You remember Mrs. H, di ba Gary V? He kept on telling people, go to TikTok. It's going to blow,
Yes,
right? But
yes,
then,
correct.
so few people actually listen. And right now, look at TikTok. Hindi na siya, it's not just a
Yes.
platform para sumayaw ka or kumanta ka. There are a lot of influencers, trainers, speakers, authors inside TikTok, and they are having 100,000 and more followers, right? Mm-mm.
Correct.
What about you,
Yes.
Jason? Ay, nakamute ka po.
Laika is an interesting platform because it actually has this ecosystem where you can encourage each other by not just by likes but by showing, kaya nagbibigay tayo ng mga gems, and it's a matter of really understanding also the opportunity. The opportunity, just like what Sarah mentioned, that just imagine if Facebook was just starting 5-10 years ago, and then or YouTube before it started to blow up. We are in that point sa Laika na it's about to blow up, and if you have a message that you feel people need to hear, then it's a great platform to start. And it's interesting kasi when you receive gems, nakakatuwa lang, no? Kasi for example with Instagram, I've never earned anything when I post on Instagram. Probably if you promote something, but with just a post, you don't. But here you can earn from it, but with the mindset that it's not really yours because you wanna bless others with it.
Mhm.
Tsaka yun yung 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 maganda sa kanya, going back to being probably a pioneer of a platform, you just have to continuously be active on it and continuously post. Kasi,
Mhm.
for example, mag-start ka sa panibagong platform, it's interesting if you check out, sabihin natin Facebook. I know some people sa Facebook, followers sila parang 500 people lang, pero sa TikTok, ang followers sila nasa 100,000 plus. It
Wow.
actually changes. Kumbaga, you always have to have this beginner's mindset na when you're starting it,
Mm.
but also
Yes.
focus just on the important platforms that you will be active on. Hindi po pwede kasing lahat na active tayo. And I believe na Laika is something that all of us can be active on because of what they offer to people.
Yes. Thank you so much for that insight, Jason. I love that. Beginner's mindset always never fails, right? So, Jerome, what about you?
Yes. Okay. Sa Laika kasi we use our company, Laurus PH. I don't put much kasi we have lots of resources. We have lots of content from our event alone. So we're posting all of those. But for me, it's like I remember what Gary Vaynerchuk mentioned before. Sabi niya, you know, sometimes with the same message, how you post on Facebook, how you post on Instagram, and how you post on LinkedIn, it's like different language. So I was looking at it, kasi like if you look at TikTok, which I like yung mga sayaw, fun, entertaining. For Kumu naman, marami doon artista and all those kind of thing. And when I found out kasi Laika, they want to enhance yung personal development, this kind of thing. I was really like happy about it kasi it
Mm.
gives variety. I mean, for me, I love yung mga yung mga funny animal. I subscribe even sa Facebook, the Dodo. I mean, I love watching those. Yeah. Kasi it sends endorphin. Yun. So for me, when Laika was planning to do that, so it's really for me beneficial kasi people not just get entertained, but also get a lot of value. You know, and I'm happy because they're encouraging lots of people to share content that is inspiring. At the same time, you can learn a lot from it. Because sometimes we'll never know if someone is really maybe in certain problem. Na maybe just your content can change yung direction niya. You know, so for me
Correct.
that's really valuable for Laika opening this up. Yeah.
Yes. And also if you will allow me to add, I also Laurus Enterprises kasi we got invited to be part of Laika. And the reason that we got invited, tama yung sinabi ni Jerome. It's because nakaka-amaze lang that the people inside the Laika app, they have this mission to actually empower the Laicans or the people inside the community by bringing in you guys, Jason, Clara, Jerome, Laurus, and so many others. They are actually looking or inviting for game changers so that we can help change the culture inside Laika and make everybody more empowered, more invested in their own self-growth and personal development. And for me, when I first heard that, sobrang wow, ganun talaga yung naging reaction ko. So, immediately, we wanted to get inside because suddenly, you are given this opportunity to widen your mission, right? Parang suddenly, nakahanap ka ng isang partner who really believes in you that, hey, you are in the right track, be part of us. Together, let's hold hand and let's empower, let's inspire, let's motivate people so that we can have a more a wealthier Filipino, wealthier in mindset, wealthier in experience. Hindi lang pera-pera, but rather really having this kind of wisdom in them, regardless of the age, regardless of the industry, regardless of the skills and talents and experiences, right? So yeah. So thank you so much for sharing your reasons to us, Jason, Jerome, and Mrs. H, Master Clara. Okay. Ngayon,
Dami pangalan.
pahaba ng pahaba eh. Jason, nag-start lang kasi yan sa Mrs. H. Sumunod, nagkaroon ng My Loves kasi naging na kami, regular chatter, magka-chat na kami lagi ni Mrs. H. So we're calling each other My Love. Tapos nag-I love you-an kami. Kinikilig ako bigla. And then when we had her for the Take-Off Summit, and we found out na yun nga, ang tawag po sa kanya sa community niya is Master. So dinikit-dikit ko na, Master Mrs. H. Clara, my loves. Ganun na kahaba.
If they stay until the end, they'll find out what H is.
Yes, you have to say Jason. And for our viewers, if you want to find out ano yung Mrs. H, there's another reason for you to stay until the end of this conversation. But before we do that, please allow me to announce to you the second gem game. And this time, this game, if you win this is going to give you 1,000 Leica gems. Equivalent po yan sa 1,000 pesos. All you have to do for this second game is, again, you have to follow the accounts inside Leica of Laurus, Jerome San, Clara, Jason, and myself. And now, you have to create a video of yourself. Okay? Hindi po tayo naghahanap ng pinakamagandang video. Okay? What we want is the value inside the video. All you have to do is answer these questions. What is personal development to you? And why do you want to provide value to your followers or to your fellow Lycans? Okay? That's it lang po. And then in your caption, please, this is very important, please use the word #LycaConnect. Okay? And you have to post the video until 11:59 tonight. All winners will be announced. We're going to have 5 on May 17 at 7 p.m. on the Leica account of Laurus Enterprises. Okay? Again, just create a video of yourself answering the question, what is personal development to you and why do you want to provide value? I believe our 3 guests tonight, they have already given you tons of insights and information. Why do you want to get started or be more serious about your own self-growth goals? All right? Okay. Now, Mrs. H and Jerome, yeah, we lost Jason, but I believe okay. He's going to be back in a little while. So let's start with you muna, Jerome. My question would be, kasi 'di ba sabi nga natin, your network is your net worth. So why do you think creating meaningful connections is important, especially in social media platforms like Leica or even Facebook? And how do you become a person of influence on your own Leica account?
Okay. Okay, I thought of 3 things. Number 1 kasi, Blair Singer. Before actually my mentor, Rich Dad Asia, si Belum Tan, he always mentioned this na your greatest asset is actually your community, the people around you, the people that follow you. And I think he learned that, he got it from Blair Singer pala yun. Your greatest asset is your community. So whether, like right now we're in lockdown, if you have this certain community kasi they still there helping you. Okay, get through. So number 1 is yun. And another thing I learned then, it's not just yun giving content kasi, who says this? Matthew Hussey, when he was here, he mentioned this. Content is not king. Sabi niya, content is not king. Connection is king. Connecting with people. Kasi giving a lot of content, but if you're not really connecting with other people, you're not really making a difference. Okay,
Yes.
so connecting is very important. Oh, actually, by the way, that's a clue pala, no, sa Mrs. H.
Oh my
Hindi ko
May
naisip.
kasamang kilig.
Yun.
Oh my
So how to become a person of influence? First, you have to start influence by really connecting with people. For me, what both earlier Jason and Clara mentioned about being authentic yourself, because people will really appreciate that, see through you, if they can resonate, relate with you. Maybe they have certain problem that you've been through that you can help. So, being you is one most important thing to create an influence. Then once you keep doing that, I'm sure you're going to have a community rin that, that will resonate with you. So in order to keep that community is to be consistent, giving your value, connecting with people. Yeah, so for me, is that. Nabuking tuloy. Nagkaroon ng clue.
Naisingit mo, Jerome, eh. Galing mo doon.
Naitawid.
Yeah, tama.
Alright. Jason, nakuha mo na ba yung clue? Sige. Kung kulang pa later. Okay. So, Mrs. H, what's your take regarding this question?
Well, before that, Miss Joanna, I'd like to give credits din kay Isis Umali kasi siya talaga yung nag-isip. Sa kanya yung idea
Yes.
na to bring in creators and game changers in Laika.
Yes.
So she's brilliant. She's really brilliant. And can I just say hi also to the Breakthrough Nation community, to our Tarana PH riders who are supporting us now.
Yeah,
And
I saw some
to
comments, Mrs. H.
yes, mga delivery partners namin yan sa Tarana PH. And then Master JP, hello. All right. And then yan, that's the reason why I am I 100% agree when it comes to building the importance of building a community that supports you. First of all, Laika gave Filipinos hope during this time of pandemic. That there's something that we can do. There's something that we can earn on our spare time, just by doing the things that we would usually do, somehow be productive because we're earning while we are online, while we are in a platform. So let's maximize that opportunity by creating meaningful connections, like what you said nga, no? So how do we create meaningful connections? Because right now, um, the cause of a lot of tension in the world, racial tensions even, is that people are talking at each other instead of talking to each other. So the important thing here is that we also listen to the audience who we are catering to as creators. Or if you're someone who's posting in your listen also to the people who are following you. If what you posted is something that they like, or that a lot of people can relate to, then post more of it. Then probably there's a need to do more of that. And if there's a content that not a lot of people can resonate to, then probably bring it to another platform. Let's speak each other's language. And I don't know if you saw it in one of my posts in Laika. It's how to earn gems. It's not, I didn't share there that they should flex, or they should keep asking for gems. But post something that you want to share in your daily life that can help people. That just by simple, if you like to cook, show people your tips and techniques when you cook something, or when if you like drawing, tips and techniques on how to draw. This is and eventually people will be able to relate to you, and you'll be able to build that community, and the gems will come. Trust that the gems will come. It's there. It's available for all of us. We just have to be strategic about it and be intentional in what we do in the platform.
Yes, the gems will come. Spread love, not hate.
Exactly.
What about you, Jason?
Ma'am, what's the question again?
I'm so sorry. Nalag out ka nga pala. The question po is, we all know naman kasi, diba, that your network is your network. So, how do you create meaningful connections that are important, especially in social media platform like Laika or Facebook or Instagram? And how do you become a person of influence on your Laika account?
Yeah. Well, it's really, for me, it's really about adding value. So, tama si Mrs. H, no? Aba na kay Mrs. H. Feeling close. Yung pag nag-add kasi tayo ng value, just like with success, I believe that we should not focus on success. If you want to be successful, you should focus on other things like excellence, like what Jerome mentioned, very, very important, consistency. And the connection, it's about adding value. So for example, you want to connect to someone, you don't ask someone that person something kaagad. You have to add value to that person first, build a relationship first, and show people that yung pag nakikipag-connect ka, it's with that kind of mentality, that kind of mindset. So on my personal in my personal journey, no, sa personal development, um ang aking pagko-connect is it's three-pronged. So the first one is connecting to people who are ahead of me. Kunyari sa real estate, meron akong friend na tatawagan ko lang who's ahead of me. May tatanong ako, or sa stocks, or sa crypto, or yun, spirituality. And then there are people na colleagues ko who are there beside me. And then there are people na you will help along the way so that you can pay it forward. So yung connection, napaka-importante niyan kasi I forgot who said this, but it's a pillar sa mga quotes. You are the average of the 5 people you are with, diba? Yes. I remember, just to encourage everyone here, kaya I'm also encouraging you to join Laika. Kasi kung meron kang message, ang hirap minsan if you will use other social media platforms na, alam mo yon, parang ang dami-dami na. And this is an opportunity for you to start and to be one of the first, since they have this platform with that advocacy, and you can share your message there. Kaya yung pagdating sa connecting, no, I remember this was way back in 2011 yata, 2010. We were in one coffee shop. Nandun ako, Randall Tiongson, Marvin Guillermo, Dennis C., the 4 of us. Wala pa kaming books nun. Tapos, nasa coffee shop kami, nag-uusap kami, nagbe-brainstorm kami, and we were encouraging each other na ito yung pwedeng mangyari, ano ba yung pwedeng natin gawin, ano ba yung mga books that we can write. And fast forward today, they have multiple books, and we have reached a lot of people because of that. And I believe it wouldn't have happened if we weren't part of that community, if we weren't friends. So importante yon on your in your journey.
Correct. I love what you shared, guys. Thank you so much for all these wonderful insights. Yan po. So our 3 amazing guests just given you a reason why you want to create a community that would really support you. At the end of the day po kasi, tama yung sinabi ni Jason you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with. So if you wanna be successful on something, this is what I learned from T. Harv Eker. The fastest way to become successful and achieve your goals is look for somebody who has already achieved the goal that you want to have, and then just copy what that person did. Sure, hindi ka na po magkakamali. And it's the fastest kasi most of these people, these successful people, Jason, Clara, they've been through a lot. And right now, through Laika and even through other social media platforms, they're sharing their journey to you so that you don't have to undergo all those pains and failures and mistakes. Then you can just go ahead, jump into the things that they did, that they're giving, that they're helping them thrive right now, right? So, a while ago, para lang din siyang, when you think of it, it's like you're going back to the old times, that it's like a barter, exchange of values lang talaga siya, right? So before, if you are a farmer, sawa ka na puro kinakain mo corn, and you need an ulam, you look for a fisherman, and you exchange your rice dun sa fish ng fisherman. Exchange of value. So you both benefit from it, right? pareho kayo nakakain ng bigas at ulam na masarap. Hindi puro ka na lang bigas or puro na lang siya isda. So it's just an exchange of value. So if you think of that. So now if you're going to be on your social media platform, that's all you have to do. Provide value, and then eventually all the people around you will be providing you so much value too. Now you have this community of growth-minded individuals, not only like-minded. Right. So, kanina po, they've been sharing all about the value. But let me share to you the really good thing, one of the very best thing about Laika. We already mentioned it. Just provide value, and then in return, Laika is going to reward you with gems. So, as in Laurus Enterprises, we actually tried it. We went out. Disclaimer po, this video, this was taken sometime first week of March. With it, before pa po nagkaroon ng ECQ. So, wala po kaming violate whatsoever nung create namin tong video na to. Just to be clear. So, let me show you how we were able to maximize our Laika account. Watch this video.
Yes, of course. You have like a
Yan! You see? Naka-empower ka na, may free dim sum ka pa. That is Laika for you guys. We have to try it. Why? Sinabi na nga po ng mga speakers natin kanina, especially from Mrs. H. You have to you have to walk the talk. All right. Before we can actually tell you that the gems are accepted, that it's working, it's accepted by so many establishments, we really have to try it. And we did, and we really enjoyed that branch po. When we get out and try the Laika gem, we paid all our meals with the Laika gem. So, nakapag-empower ka na, naka-inspire ka na, nakapag-provide ka na ng value sa community mo, and then you get to eat for free or buy something out of your Laika gems. All right? So, right now, allow me to invite you to my own Laika account. That is Juana _Marie_ Lazaro. Connect with me. I'm posting a lot of values too, pero i-follow nyo po definitely Laurus PH, Jerome San, Jason Locke, Clara H. Kasi po, sobrang dami po talaga nilang pinaprovide na value. And another thing, our other business partners are also on Laika. You can look for Angie San and also for Jeverly or Jev Ochia. I think we can put in the comment section na lang yung mga Laika account ninyo, Angie and Jev, so that people can also start following you. We are 4 co-owners of Laurus Enterprises po kasi. Myself, Jerome, Angie, plus Jev. And all of us, together with our company, Laurus Enterprises, we are all in like providing value to our own community as well. Okay, so my gosh, guys, this is so mind blowing. I'm really picking up a lot of gems. Okay, from the three of you. And right now, we are on our um, second hour of this entire show. Pero kung pwede lang talaga, I'm going to prepare 8,000 questions for all of you. And I'm sure our viewers, our online audience, are going to learn more from you. In fact, just to share to you guys, currently we have 155 shares.
Wow.
Congratulations to all of us. Yan. So we
Wow.
have come to the last part of our conversation. And before we end, I'd like to ask each one of you guys, what would be your parting message to all our viewers? And aside from your Laika and Facebook, or where can they follow you? Para we can put the link here in the comment section. Let's start with, dahil inuna ko siya kanina, Jason.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, thank you, Laurus, and also for bringing more programs here in the Philippines. We need that. We need to empower more people so that those empowered people can help more people.
Yes.
My parting message would be, remember, if you're looking for a book,
Yes, you need
again,
to
Love it.
need.
so bago na pala yung cover.
Oh,
But for me, whatever you are going through right now, I know we are familiar with the term social distancing, but that's such a poor term. It should be physical distancing because this is the time for us to be social, and this is the best time for us to connect. But rather than just connecting online or following, it's really about connecting genuinely with people. So find those 5 people that you will be connected to, and in anything that you do, put God first in everything. My Laika account is Jason Lo, JYSONLO. I'm also new on Kumu. Ayan. Sabi ni Jerome kanina, mga artista, ano na po, pati yung mga nasa
Artistahin.
development. Um, napaka-konti pa lang namin sa personal development. Baka natin na no with Laurus and everyone here. But I think that's also a new avenue dahil ang dami din mga shows doon na for entertainment, cooking show. But I think that they would also benefit from programs like this. And I'm also on Instagram, Facebook. Please follow me. My message is always about how to be unique, how to live a unique life by being you and by just understanding principles that can help you on how you can live life to the fullest. And also, please follow me on Spotify sa podcast ko. It's always there every Tuesday. It's the title is The Unique Life. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jason, and totally agree with you. It should be physical distancing lang, not social distancing. Kasi this is the perfect time actually na we have to really unite and be present for each and everyone, right? Yeah, thank you so much, Jason, for that. Mrs. H, nakamute ka po.
Thank you so much, Miss Joanna, for being such an amazing host. Can I just say that you're leveling up every time I see you do your hosting, do your hosting job or your hosting career. You're amazing. Thank you so much, and it's an honor to share this evening with you, Jason and Jerome. Thank you so much, and to everyone who's watching. Maraming salamat po for making this time to listen and to invest and consider this as your initial investment in your personal growth by making
Yes.
use of your time here. And my parting message, and by the way, singit ko lang, hi mom, dad. Oh, magtampo.
Hello, tita.
Hello, Ira, Bella, hello, my brother, sister-in-law. Okay. Sabihin yung mga yung mga ibang community, binati ko sila, hindi. Anyway, my parting message. So, I don't know what you are going through right now. I don't know what phase in your life you are at right now. But know and believe that there is a message that you can share to the world. There's definitely a message that you can share so people can get value from it. Imagine if Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, they didn't use their gift of wisdom through their voice, the world wouldn't be the same anymore. It would have stayed the same that they came to this world. You know, slavery would be still be there, racial apartheid would still be there. You know, but we don't need to be another Martin Luther King or another Mahatma Gandhi to change the world. Use these platforms to make a difference, to make a contribution to the world, to humanity in general. If it's Even if it's as simple as teaching people how to cross stitch or crochet or I don't know, make coffee, make now it's not dalgona coffee anymore, people are making fancy coffees from condensed milk. I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that. It can inspire them to do something, to probably make a business out of what you're sharing. Then let that be your contribution. Post more, and again, don't worry about what other people will say. Don't worry about the likes or the gems that you will receive. It will come. It will definitely come. So, um, wishing you all an abundant life and abundant gems in your Leica accounts. And if you want to connect with me in all my social media platforms, it's TikTok, Leica, Instagram, on Twitter, it's Clara Day H. Yeah, don't forget the H. And if you would like to, if you would like to have free yoga classes and free meditation sessions, just hit my YouTube channel. It's Clara Day Herrera. So, yan, hindi po Herrera yung H dun sa Mrs. H, but yeah, it's my family name. All right. And God bless everyone. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Mrs. H. I love you too. Nag-heart-heart ako kanina. Maraming salamat po. Honestly, I really want to thank you kasi you have always been that one constant person in my life who continues to affirm me. So, maraming salamat that I have you in my life. Yes. So, go ahead, guys. Follow Jason and Clara on all their social media platforms. Definitely, hindi nyo po pagsisisihan once you started following them. And of course, Mr. K-pop chairman, Jerome San.
Ayun. Well, thank you. Okay. I was thinking kanina kung ano sasabihin ko. So, I actually learned this from T. Harvecker, but he said he learned it from someone else then. Is this: environment is more powerful than willpower. So environment is more powerful than willpower. So what does it mean? Okay. For instance, let's say it answers the question of how tall does a tree puno grow. So how tall does a tree grow? There are two factors. First one is what kind of tree. The second one is yung environment ng tree. So the first one is, let's say, what kind of tree? The tallest tree that can grow to more than 100 feet is called the redwood oak tree, California redwood oak tree. It can grow to more than 100 feet. Now, let's say you use this California redwood oak tree, you put it sa desert. Okay, will it grow to its potential? Probably not, right? So desert, you get the cactus, you put it in a rainforest. Will it grow to its potential? Probably not. It'll probably die. Tama? So same thing with us human being. Okay, your potential will be released if you're in the right environment. Okay, so that's why tonight, the whole night, we say, importante in community. So very important is your environment. And in fact, people always say, wala akong choice eh. Actually, you have a choice. So you have to deliberately, the word, create your environment. So if you want to lose weight, you hang out with the right people. Because it will start changing you. And more important thing is, it becomes less resistance yung dadaanan nyo because you're in the right environment. Yun. So with Laika rin, yeah, so we want to create this environment then for people to be empowered, to be supported then. So, for me, help create this environment for everyone now will be empowered, will be supported to their journey, to their success then. Yeah, so thank you. Oh, where to follow pala. So you can follow Laurus Enterprises. We are on, saan ba tayo? Okay, on our Facebook, Instagram, saan ba? Gosh, YouTube. Okay, type all of those. Basta ang ano lang namin is Laurus PH. Okay, go in, type in Laurus PH, or you can visit our website, laurus.ph. Yun, because we have lots of program virtual right now. We turn to virtual. So we partner with Mind Valley. We also partner with freelance, ano yung
Online Filipino freelancers.
Yes, online Filipino freelance. So we have an event with them. So there's lots of events. So you can just visit laurus.ph. You can see mga upcoming event namin. It's all there. Yan. So thank you.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Jerome. I love the analogy that you have just given us. And tama po lahat sila, guys. Going back, personal development is actually very important. And you being here in the show, you have just started. Congratulations to you, because you have just started your first journey, or your journey to your own personal development. Sabi nga sa Chinese proverbs, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you being part of the show and staying with us up until this very moment, you have just started your journey to greatness. So, right now, to our online audience, if you are at home, sabi nga ni Mrs. H, don't mind the people around you. Go ahead and give yourself a pat at the back and tell yourself, I'm so amazing. My God, for 2 hours I stayed. And I learned a lot from these amazing people, from Jason, from Clara, from Jerome, right, guys? So, did we promise you that you are going to really have a worthy evening? I believe I did. So, congratulations to you. So, maraming salamat, Jason, Mrs. H, Jerome San, the K-pop chairman. So, there's 2 reasons na Jason, sasabihin ko sa'yo. Alright, before po tayo matapos and before I start acknowledging everybody, Mrs. H po kasi, meron po kaming ina-attract na nabanggit na po ni Jerome kanina yung pangalan.
I-reveal talaga.
I-reveal. Pero hindi ko
Sige, go lang.
Bumalik sa sinabi ni Jerome kanina. Kaya po naging Mrs. H. So once you start calling her Mrs. H, you're helping us give this, claim this from the universe so that it can happen, right? For Jerome naman, Mr. K-pop chairman po siya kasi always pag nagme-meeting po kami, mukha po siyang galing ng Korea. So, alam mo, para siyang member ng BTS. Siya po yung
Korean restaurant.
Kaya ever since then po, sa Manifest Master Inspire namin, I've been calling him K-pop chairman na. So if you want to call Jerome also K-pop chairman, go ahead. And of course, Mr. Unique, Mr. Jason Law, right? This is so unique. Every time you mention the word unique, may isang tao lang po maiisip kayo moving forward. That would be Mr. Jason Law to you. All right? So once again, Jason, Mrs. H, Jerome, I couldn't thank you enough for the time and for the wisdom that you have imparted, not only to me, but to everybody who has stayed with us up until this very moment. My gosh, kung pwede ko lang palitan lahat, yung mga sinasabi ninyo, kung i-equate ko siya sa gems, I believe yung gems ko right now sumasabog na. Hindi ko na kaya siyang buhatin sa dami ng gems that I got from you guys. So thank you for being so generous, not only to Laurus, but of course, to everybody in this show, right? I think can you still hear me? Ayan, medyo nawala lang ako. This time, please allow me, guys, to Jason, Jerome, and Mrs. H, just please allow me to acknowledge some people who made this event happen. Of course, to you guys, kayo yung pinaka-importanteng tao dito sa show na to because of all these insights that you have given us. Thank you so much na ang dami yung binigay sa amin na information on how we can get started on our journey to personal development, right? Next person that I want to acknowledge is, of course, our counterpart, the Laika team. Maraming salamat po for entrusting this event with Laurus Enterprises, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to be part of Laika so that we are now bringing all the contents, all the values that we have to the Laikans. It's really a huge opportunity to be part of your community, right? To be part of your advocacy. And of course, special mention to our dear friend, Isis Umali,
Yes.
who all introduced us to Laika. Tama po yung sinabi ni Mrs. H a while ago. This was the idea that Isis started, and right now, it's coming true because more and more game changers are getting inside Laika. So, moving forward, guys, you can expect lots of wonderful values, lots of wonderful insights from so many people in the personal development category inside Laika. All right. Another person that I want to acknowledge is that my Laurus team. Of course, Jerome, and then Angie, Jev, Jovi, and Bo, Sheila, and Chris, and Wayne, and Jonax. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting us. Not only tonight, but the past days, keeping everything tight and also making sure na magiging maayos yung show natin. Maraming salamat to the Laurus team. Yan po. Another person that I want to acknowledge, aside from you, Jason, Clara, and Jerome, there's another person that is really important in this entire show. Hulaan niyo po sino.
Ikaw. With Juana Lazaro.
Salamat, Jerome.
Yes.
No po. That's not me because anybody can host the show. So the most important person in this entire evening is you, our dear audience. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Your time
Thank
is
you.
the most precious asset that you have. And you chose to spend 2 hours of your time with us. And for that, we are so grateful to you and we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for everyone who are commenting, especially for everyone who are joining the game. Remember, guys, in relation to that, don't forget we have 2 games that you can win either 500 gems or 1,000 gems. And to you, our online audience, maraming salamat pong muli. Okay? Another, and also, I want to acknowledge the Laurus community. We have so many quantum leapers inside, speaker circlers, our thrivers. I see them in the comment section. Maraming salamat po. And lastly, I want to invite you once again to follow Laurus Enterprises, Jason Law, Clara Day H, and Jerome San, even Angie San and Jev Ochia on our respective Laika accounts because I guarantee you, ako, sabi nga nila, you cannot guarantee things in life, right? But I always say this, in relation to these people, in relation to Laurus Enterprises, there's one thing that I can guarantee you. You are going to be empowered. You would always be reminded that you are magnificently and beautifully created for a purpose. You exist here on earth for a reason. And you would always be reminded if you start following Laurus Enterprises, Jason Law, Clara de Herrera, Jerome San, Joanna Marie Lazaro, Angie San, and Jeverly Ochia on our own Laika accounts. And with that, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. God bless you guys. We are so really cannot express right now kasi overflowing po talaga. I feel so overwhelmed from all the learnings and the opportunity that I was given to be in this show with the one and only Mr. Unique, determined Jason Law, my master, my loves, Mrs. H, Clara de Herrera, our K-pop chairman, my business mentor, and a very dear friend, Mr. Jerome San. And with that, we end this show and we wish you goodbye, God bless, start investing on your personal development, and empower others. Bye for now.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in the palm. You are a statement explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win everywhere.
Ayun.